Oh, we are recording now. Let me share the screen. Terry, thank you for coming again. Last time we did these special mudaafs. I hope you still remember them. We were trying to understand, we revised the concept of idafa and we were trying to understand how these mudaafs operate. Of course, because they are called special mudaafs, they are always coming as mudaafs. So that's what we learned. Few of them we tried to practice. Fawqa, tahta, qabla, ba'da, khalfa, wara'a, amama, kadama. So these are few mudaafs that we discussed last time. Just keep in mind, I'm giving you, of course, the meanings of each of these mudaafs, like fawqa, tahta. These are, and qabla and ba'da, they're normally used with these meanings, normally all over the Quran. It's always meaning above, below, before, after. But there are few, for example, there are khalfa and wara. So while I'm giving you the meaning far behind and behind, sometimes these meanings are used interchangeably. Sometimes wara would also be used as behind and khalfa would be used as behind as well. So there are meanings and reasons for that when we go deeper into the balagha studies. And there is, of course, a wisdom behind all of that, which we cannot touch at this point. But whenever you look at these definitions, these meanings, just keep them in mind that they are kind of a placeholder meanings, and there could be fluctuations in those meanings when rubber hits the road, when we are doing the Quranic application of them. But these would get you started very well, fundamentally speaking. Right. So what I want to do today is I just want to finalize and complete all of these mudaafs. So we are all on the same page and we can move forward on that. Any questions on these mudaafs before I move forward? Anything that was still not clear? And just keep in mind, I can't see you. So you have to tell me if there is any problem, because when I share the screen, I can only see one window of a person who is speaking. Otherwise, I can't see you if you're raising hands or if you're doing anything. So just speak up if you need to say something. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you some additional mudaafs that are part of the list, and I'm going to give you those mudaafs in a way so you can remember them better. For example, so there's a word beside. There's a word besides. And this word beside, this word occurs in few different mudaafs. For example, this meaning can be of a mudaaf in this word can also be a meaning of the word mudaaf duna. Duna. Okay. So these two words share these meanings, but they can be other meanings of these words too. For example, inda also comes with a meaning of with, at, by, quite a lot in the Quran. Especially about this mudaaf duna. This one always comes with a harf min. So min duni, you might have learned in the Quran or read in the Quran. Min duni. So when you, I'll make them distant. This word is a harf min, and there is a difference between min and man. There's a big difference between two. I'm talking about min specifically. So it comes with a word a harf min, and when it comes with a harf min, it will always be jar. These two operate in conjunction with each other in a group. Min duni, you will always find in the Quran, or rather 99% you will find them together in the Quran. Min duni, min duni. So this particular one you will mostly find in the jar state, and they would there's more or less translated to meanings like beside, right? So that's one thing you should remember about these ones. Okay. Sometimes you might also find it with the sukoon, min dun, or min duni. So that's one thing to note about. These are the harfs, special harfs that make things jar or nasab. We will do that inshallah in days to come. Okay? Just two different mudafs. Right. Then there are a few others. Just to very quickly summarize, mudafs like Baina is quite widely used mudaaf. Baina aydihim, you might have heard, between their hands or between his hands. Okay? This word actually means between. The next word would always be jar because it's a mudaaf and mudaaf ilay relationship. Words like haul. Question?
No, I was just thinking, how can it be Mudaaf? So it's a light with no al.
Yes, they're always light. Just remember they're called special mudaafs. So they will
Yes.
always fulfill the property of mudaaf. They will not come with a al and they will not be heavy. Okay. Haul means around or surrounding. Okay. Inna ma'al usri yusra. We all know this ayah. Right? There is a mudaaf relationship in this ayah, which is with ma'a. Inna ma'al usri yusra. Ma'a means with. With difficulty, only with difficulty there is ease. This is also a mudaaf ilay. Okay. Did we leave any? So I think there is another one called ba'da. Ba'da. Ba'da would translate to some or some of. Translate to some or some of. Okay. For example, ba'dakum means some of you. So if you attach a kum with it, so ba'dakum, some of you. And there's another one, ayyu, you might have read in the Quran. Sorry, ayyu. Okay, ayyu means which or any.
डॉक्टर साहब ये बादा के अंदर जो है आइन के ऊपर जज़म आएगी शायद या नहीं?
Correct. The typo. Oops.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ooh. Yeah, ba'da. Okay. Ayyu means any or which. Okay. And I think there is a second last one, which is, did we do ghair? We didn't do ghair, right? Yeah. Ghair. Ghairu. This ghairu means other than as well. Other than. There is a use of ghair in Surah Fatiha. Ghair al-maghdubi. Ghair al-maghdubi. Alayhim waladhdallin. So it means other than.
What?
Ji.
What question? Yeah. Duni is besides other than and khair is other than also. So it could be, I heard like min khair. Is this a word like just like min duni?
No, that's different. Min khair, in this statement, khair is a normalism. It's not mudaaf like this. It's not one of the special mudaafs. Khair means betterment or something better. Min is a word that actually makes its jar. Just like you have min duni, but whatever comes after min in Arabic language would become jar. Whatever, would it be a special mudaaf or any normalism, it will become jar. Okay, that's the power of min. We'll do that inshallah in next few classes. But khair is not one of the part of the list. And I think there's a last one that I need to tell you is kul. Kullu. Kullu means all or every or entire, could mean many things. Okay? So I can just give you this list, and over time, when we use it, inshallah, again and again, you will come to terms with these definitions, and you will see how they are operating in the Quran. All you need to do right now is you should be able to recognize that the word you're looking at is one of the special mudaafs. Okay, so I'll reshare my screen because I want to show you other documents too. Wait a second. Okay, so you should be able to identify when you see the word that this is part of this list. If you are able to identify the word as part of this list, then you can be completely confident that it is a mudaaf and it should have a mudaaf ilayh. Okay? That's the objective. The meanings will not set in your mind from day one. For some it will, but for some it won't. Last time what we did in the previous class was kind of opposite meanings, but the ones that we have done are not really opposites. They are quite random meanings. So it's difficult to create a logical cohesion between them. So you just need to read through them a few times and keep them in mind. And when they come up, I will also remind you, and you will also be able to hopefully detect them, and that's how you will learn. That, and they will become very normal, inshallah. Okay. So that's everything about the special mudaafs. You need to keep in mind whenever you see them, it means they must have a mudaaf ilay. They must have a mudaaf ilay. They will always form an idafa relationship, and they do not necessarily give you an off meaning. They don't necessarily give you an off meaning. The Arabic term that defines special mudaaf is called zarf. Zarf. These are all called zuruf, zarf. They are the special mudaafs representing time and space, and they always come with a mudaaf ilayh. Okay, is that clear? Any questions on that? Is the principle clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is a very interesting one, kullu, and I must tell you one characteristic of this. I think that comes up quite a lot in the Quran. Kullu. Oops. So, yeah. Kullu. Now, kullu can come with a word like, for example, masjid. Kullu masjidin. You could equally have kullu al masjidin. Al masjidi. You could equally have kullu al masajid. Kullu masjidin. Kullu al masjidi. Kullul masajid. This one, last one is plural and it's proper. Everyone sees that, right? The second one is singular and it's proper. And the first one is singular and it's common. Okay. So when kullu is created, when kullu creates some idafa, mudaaf and the mudaaf ilay with a singular common, and it does it with singular common, it means each and every. Means each and every. So kullu masjidin would mean each and every masjid. Each and every masjid. When kullu is developing the idafa relationship with singular and proper. It means entire. Entire. So that would translate to entire masjid. So you would say each and every masjid. Entire masjid. Okay. And when it is with singular, no, sorry, it's coming with plural and proper. Plural and proper. Okay. Then it means all of the masjids. Each and every, entire, all of them. Masjids. So they are flavors of kullu that you have seen.
Dr. Shab, a quick question. I remember you hold it kullu zaikatul maut. Right now, this zaika is common and singular, and that's why it translated as each and every soul. Right?
Correct.
Is this the correct?
Exactly. I was actually going there exactly with that example. You picked it up already. So kullu nafsin. Nafsin, kullu nafsin. Right? So now this is common. Nafsin is common and it's singular. Right? And kullu is a special mudaaf. So it will translate to each and every soul. Each and every soul. Yeah. Clear? I will share this. I will share this page with you. So if you're not taking notes, it's fine. I'll share the page with you so you have it in your reports. Okay. There is a very nice gem in this ayah. Kullu nafsin zaikatun maut. Maybe we can touch upon it a little bit. The next word is zaika. Okay. Zaika. 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 Al-maut. Al-maut. Okay. Zaikatu al-mauti. Is it an idafa?
It is.
It is. Zaika is like, no al, and it's followed by jar. What would it translate to? If zaika means taste.
Taste of death.
Taste of the death.
Taste of death, right? So if you look at kullu nafsin zaikatul maut, what it translates to?
Each and every soul taste of the death.
Taste of the death,
Taste.
right? In English language, it doesn't really make sense, right? So normally, tell me how this ayah is normally translated in English. Can you?
Each and every soul tastes death or will taste death.
No, but
Shall taste death, I think.
So each and every soul, how is it translated? Shall?
Shall I
They
think
shall
taste
taste.
Yeah.
death.
Or is there any other translation you know of? That's the most common translation, right? Each and every soul shall taste that, each and every soul shall taste this, and so on and so forth. Actually, if you look at it literally, this word zaika,
it's taste.
this word zaika follows a particular pattern in the Arabic language. This pattern is called fa'ilun. Fa'ilun pattern. This is a mold. It's a pattern. Words mapping to fa'ilun, for example, would be, for example, alimun. Alimun. For example, jahilun.
Qur'anun.
Jahilun. And?
Qur'anun. No?
No, not Qur'anun. because you need a alif after the first letter, right? Jahilun, or for example, sabirun. So you look at these words, they follow exactly the same pattern. The first letter, then the alif, and then the letter with a kasra, right? And then the last letter, right? Very high level, I'm giving you this insight. Fa'ilun pattern. So just like that, you come up with a word which is za'ikum. 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 Za'ikum is a masculine form of za'ikatun. Okay. So you have the first letter, then you have an alif, then you have a third letter with a kasra, and then that's the form, right? It's the same pattern. And we will do that when we do the sarf. Do that when we do the sarf. This is called ism fa'il later on. It's way later in the study. So these are the words. For example, if I pick up this one or this one, these are the words that actually means in English, the words that end with an ER, for example. For example, teacher. For example, scholar, right? For example, ignorer, and so on and so forth. For example, although sabir in English mean patient, basically what we are trying to say, patient is someone who is a patienter, kind of bad English. Patienter, who is actually doing the patience. So these words are used in English language to demonstrate people who actually do the action, who are the doers, real doers of the action. Right? So that's the pattern you use in Arabic language to do it. When you say zaika, zaika would actually, zaika would translate to taster, not taste. Zaika would translate to taster. So the zaikatul maut would actually translate to taster of death. Now, question. Can you be a teacher without teaching? Can you become a teacher without teaching?
No.
You
No.
have to teach at least once to call yourself teacher, right?
Yeah.
You have to ignore at least once to become an ignorer. You have to run at least once to become a runner. So you have to taste at least once to become a taster, right?
Yeah.
You need to taste at least once. So Allah is saying, Zaikatul Maut. It means every soul is a taster of death, meaning you have tasted death before. You have tasted it before in some shape and form. It's not new to you, right? And when you look at your life and you look at the journey of soul, Allah tells us that you were with Him. Then He put you to sleep. Then He sent you to the mother's womb. Inside the mother's womb, and today as well, you go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, you recite your dua, Allahumma bismika amutu wa ahya. Amutu means I sleep, I die with your name, and I wake up with your name. So death is not something new to you. You actually go to death during this life, and you have gone to death before. So generally, when you translate such ayahs, these types of gems and these types of wisdoms can only be extracted if you really, really, really know the language. These are things which are lost in translation. Right? So the standard translation that we know of, each and every soul shall taste this, does not really give you that meaning, and therefore would not really give you that appreciation of the word of Allah. Okay? So there's lots of wisdom behind it. Inshallah, as we go along, we will touch upon these things slowly. As we know more and more of Arabic, these things will become more and more visible to us. There's a lot more, inshallah, we will do about that. So, but just I thought that because we're doing the kullu, it's a good point in time to give you this insight. Okay. Very good. Any questions?
मैं निकलूंगा ठीक है
चलिए, so have a
पाकिस्तान से फिर मुलाकात होती है।
Have a very
Inshallah.
nice
Have a
day.
safe flight.
भाई
Enjoy
अल्लाह
your
खैरियत
trip.
से
Thank you so
खैरियत
much.
से लेकर आए.
Okay,
Thank you.
Sohaib. Thank you.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Right?
Shoaib is
Fahad,
going first time after coming to Sweden, to Pakistan.
Really?
Yeah, after 4 years.
I'm
Good,
sure
very
he
good.
must be excited.
And he's from Lahore, right?
He's from Lahore, yes.
Sorry, Farhan, you had a question?
Yeah, so this is where the difference in translations occur. There's a slight difference.
First of all, Farhan, it's not a slight difference. It's a major difference. Okay, so if you translate it like that, you are actually saying that you have not tasted death, and it's going to be
Yeah.
first time you're going to do it. When you translate it like that, it means you have actually tasted death, and you are tasting death every single day. In 24 hours, whenever you go to sleep, you actually taste part of that death. Right? It's a major difference, and then you will start to understand the word of Allah very differently. Right? The difference is major, but yes, these are the small things and some very, very big things that actually result in translations not really giving the full meaning of the Quran. Right? That is why Allah says in the Quran that I have revealed Quran in the Arabic language so you can understand it. Okay? It's a second ayah of Surah Yusuf. Inna anzalnahu Quranan Arabiyya la'allakum taqilun. So yes, that's why it's important to learn the language to really truly
Doctor,
understand the whole.
which translation shall we use that give us exact meanings, like you are saying, taster of death? Because most of the Qurans that we have doesn't translate it like this in English. So can you recommend one or two few of them? Or
There is none that I've found.
okay.
And I don't rely on translations. I just decode things myself. I use translations as a hint, but I don't fully take the translation message as the entire message of the ayah.
Right.
I always do my own research.
Just to give you my personal experience, while reciting Quran this Ramadan, I used one tarjuma of Mufti Fahim Meriti, and it is a literal meaning from Arabic to Urdu translation. And I closed that book after some time because it was not making a
Correct.
great sense to me. Because when I speak in Urdu, I was not able to understand what is being said, and then I go to another translation because which is not literal, but it makes sense in the language. So it depends a lot upon the language you are reading that translation in.
That's right. I did for the Taqi Usmani Sahab, and he used so much difficult Urdu words that it goes over my head.
So Taqi Usmani Sahab, at least he tries to make the sentence formation in Urdu. But some translations are literal Arabic translation, or they try to do the literal Arabic translation, which doesn't make sense. So you don't understand. So this is what Aswad Bhai is suggesting. Understanding the actual Arabic is the best way if you
No,
want
totally
to understand
understand.
Quran.
That's why I was thinking, is there anyone who have translated it, even from Al Bayyana, or someone who have literally translated like Dr. Saab?
There is activity going on between Ustad Numan Ali Khan and Ustad Sohaib, Sheikh Sohaib. But that translation is not complete. They've mentioned to us that they are working on one. But anyway, even if that's out, Talha, hopefully that's going to be much closer to what we have today. By all means, I'm not saying those translations are not nice. I mean, it's extensive piece of work. People have done lots and lots of effort in those translations. So don't ignore those translations. But those translations are not Quran. Those translations are translations, right? They're interpretation of the Quran. Quran is only in Arabic. So my approach is learn Arabic, try to decode yourself, verify your understanding with multiple translations out there. See if you can really get the same message out. But don't just rely on one translation and believe that this is the definition, this is the meaning of the ayah.
Correct.
You have to go into tafasir, you have to do I'll show you one thing. There is a website that I want to personally go myself on to be able to use and take you all with you as well, which is this Furqan.co leads to tafsir.app. Right? It's completely Arabic. There is nothing English in this website. 100% Arabic. Right. So in this one, for example, you select the surah, let's say Surah Fatiha, and you select the ayah. For example, I do ayah number whatever 3. Okay? So it will take me to Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. For that particular ayah, I can go to whatever tafsirs. There's so many tafasir. You pick up one, it tells you lots about it. Right now, it looks super complex to us. I can guarantee you, if you keep your commitment with the language, you actually will be reading all of that and understanding what it's being said. Because these tafasirs are coming from people who were closer to the time of Prophet. They're very old tafasirs, and original text in Islamic literature is in Arabic. And over time, it was translated from Arabic into various different languages, and those translations actually ended up in interpretations which do not really give that full meaning. So my approach is to come to the level where I can actually reach the original texts, the way it was written, and be able to understand from it. Okay? So this is just one example. There are many others. In this one, you see from the Arabs to everything. So this is dictionary and tafsir and I don't know what not. So you have lots of things available here. Right. So inshallah, there are so many websites like this, and I will introduce you these tools when we go to that point. Right now, it's a bit super too early to introduce such tools. Right. Okay.
I just have one small question, Doctor. When you said when we were learning proper and common, you were saying that okay, we will add the word da, right? That makes it definite, right? So this zaikatul maut is al maut is proper, right? So in bad English we will say da death, or
yes,
and that's why we remove. There is no
that's
like
fine.
Taste of the death. That doesn't make any sense, or does?
I mean, the death would effectively means the particular death that would come to you. For example, your death and my death and somebody else's death. It's a specific death for us, right? But of course, death is just one anyway. So using the another doesn't matter. It really depends how you want to interpret it in the English language. It's more of an English problem than an Arabic problem.
Okay. Yeah, that's why when you were saying let's do the literal translation of this one, so I will translate it as da death, and da death. Okay.
That's fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah, we all know this one, right? Okay. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. I'm not going to talk about Imran Khan. I'm going to talk about Arabic language. Okay? Just so we are clear. He has actually make sure that the entire nation understands the definition of this. It's changing the font. Okay. Why did I bring this up? Brought this up because of this word nasta'in. This is not an ism. It's a fair. And the reason to bring this up is as follows. Do you know you have any idea what it translates to? Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
Seek help from. Help seeker. Help seeker.
Okay, if you just if you look at the entire thing, Chamspai, not just the last part.
तुझी से मदद मांगते हैं.
Only you we worship, and only you we seek help from.
Doctor, before we go into translation, this iyaka is idafa, right?
No.
This ka is not pronoun, attached pronoun.
It is. But this iya is not ayu. It's not this word. It's not this.
Okay.
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 It's a different thing. It's we'll do that later. Okay?
Okay.
So only you we worship, iyyaka na'budu, and wa, only you we seek help from. Okay? Iyyaka nasta'in. Okay. Now, why did I bring this up? I bring this up because I think this is a reminder for all of us how things work in our deen. So what we are saying, we seek help. What's the difference between seeking help and just getting help? Okay? Imagine you are on a road trip and your car got punctured. This is an example my ustad gave me, so I'm passing this to you. Your car got punctured. So what you can do is you have two options. Option number one, you get out, fix yourself. In this option, you're trying to use the jack and lift the car and then do stuff, but there comes a point where you are not able to do it at all. You'll have lost your strength, you're too tired or whatever. And then you see some passerby and you ask that passerby if you could please help me. And he sees that you're exhausted, you've done what you could, and he comes and helps you out. Another option is you ask for help, meaning you keep on sitting in the car waiting for somebody to pass through. And when somebody passes by your car, you stop him, say, hey, Mr. XYZ, my car tire is punctured. Can you please fix it for me? Right? Where is the more likelihood you will get help? In the first scenario or the second scenario? What do you think? First scenario. And what is the reason for that? The reason for that is you have exhausted yourself in achieving something and you have not been able to achieve, and you have now an evidence to show that you have tried your best, and therefore you want help. In the second one, you are acting more like a luxurious brat, sitting in the car and not really trying to do anything to solve your own problem and want others to do that for you. Okay? So when we say iyyaka na'budu, we are actually saying, Allah, we seek help. This first one is seeking help. Seeking help comes when you have put everything possible in your energy to actually achieve it yourself. Then you are not able to do it, and therefore you ask for help. That is seeking help. Right? We have to keep that in mind. Now, if you look at our entire deen, the religion, we have prophets, mighty prophets, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have Prophet Musa, we have Prophet Isa, you have whoever, Ibrahim alayhi salam, and so on. All of these prophets, did they have an easy life? None of them. They were prophets. They were prophets. They never had an easy life. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did his best. He got injured in the Battle of Uhud. An arrow actually pierced his cheek and broke his teeth. That level of pain. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam was born and raised in Pharaoh's castle, and if his asa was a very big anaconda or a snake, he could have just thrown that asa on Pharaoh and just get rid of him and become the king and problem solved. But it didn't happen that way, right? He went through all of that struggle up to the last point when there was no option left, and he prayed to Allah, and Allah said, okay, I'll part the sea. That level of effort that was put. And only then Allah helped these people. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam was thrown in the fire. And he was not informed that fire is going to be cold. Right? While he was thrown, then Allah informed that fire is going to be cold. Last moment. So when we are trying to do something in our lives, when you are saying iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, we are saying, Allah, we only worship you and we only seek help from you, meaning we will do our best to achieve what we need to achieve. And we will, of course, ask you for help because we can't do it alone without your help. So when you're looking at this entire activity you are doing, I mean, it applies to your entire life, of course, but just from the Arabic perspective, The effort that you're putting is an effort that needs to go to your extreme lengths, inshallah, when Allah will start to give you that blessing. Things will become difficult before they become easy. Things get difficult always. That's the principle of our deen. That's how things work. Okay? Inna ma'al usri usra. There is no ease without difficulty. So just by using the word nasta'in, there are other words for help, nasara and so on. Allah has specifically chosen this one that actually means that you have put an effort to do the best you can, and then Allah is going to help you. Okay? So I thought it's important for us to know, because sometimes when we are doing this language thing, things can become super difficult, annoying, and vocabulary memorization and all of that can really, impact our motivation. So you have to keep that in mind. I saw that yesterday with my ustad, so I thought it's important to share with you as well. So we all can appreciate that what you're doing is not something very easy. Learning a new language, especially in the ages we are, it's difficult. It's tough. It takes time and effort, and it has lots of frustrations in it. But we have to believe that there is an effort, and then there is an ease. And see where you were, I think, few months ago, and where you are now. Things are becoming better, inshallah.
Jazakallah Fahad bhai.
And in
Right.
that,
Ji.
ka is a pronoun.
Ka is a pronoun. Ka is a pronoun.
And technically, we learned that it's your.
You or your. Yes, your, basically. Yes. You or your.
You and your. You or your.
You or your. Yes. So this is an abnormal sentence structure. We'll do that when we go in the sentence structure. It was supposed to be na'buduka wa nasta'inuka. But because the pronoun was brought forward, it becomes an abnormal structure. And because of the abnormal structure, the word only gets introduced. Okay. We'll do that, inshallah, when we do the sentence structures.
Okay.
Okay, good. So now what I want is go to the application. No, let's not go to the application. If there is any question on the idafa. So we have done idafa with normalisms, then idafa with pronouns, then idafa with special mudaafs. Yeah, and I think that's it. Yeah, we've done idafa with that. So you have lots of exercises here in your notes, which I encourage you to do if you have not done already. This will include everything. Right, so it will help you practice. I don't want to solve it for you. I want you to really put that effort. That struggle needs to go in if you really want to get hold of this entire capability. So from this page all the way to the next page and the next page, yeah, up to this point. Okay, so if you have not done it, from page 23 to 25, please try to do it. Once you are done with this, it will give you confidence a lot that you are now translating things, and it will of course make you better equipped to move forward with the new topics that we will do. Okay. Use WhatsApp, please, if you have any questions, or if there is anything that you're not sure about. I'm always available there. Any questions before I move forward? Just 7 minutes remaining. I'll just give you a quick introduction of another concept.
Fahad bhai, it's not a study related question, but a very quick one if you could answer it, if you have experienced it. Do you think we are at a stage that there is one app, Islam 360, it has introduced a feature which is called Fahm al-Quran, and it gives you few words to memorize or to understand, so the translation of words which are used in Arabic. Have you ever been to that or have you heard of that? So
I don't use. I have Islam 360, but I don't use this. I can look at the feature and then tell you what
please,
that is.
please. So are we ready for that? This is what I wanted to understand. Are we ready to
Okay.
memorize the Arabic words? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's
Inshallah. Okay. Now we are going to move to another fragment. It's just 6 minutes, so I'll just intro you that fragment because it's very, very easy. It's not too difficult. So that new fragment is the adjective and noun relationship. For example, when you say car or then you say blue car. Now this blue is actually giving you a little bit more about the car. You say boy, which is an ism, then you say tall boy. This tall is an adjective, right? That actually defines the boy. You could have house, big, beautiful. You have big, you have beautiful, and then you have the ism. So these are adjectives. They help you understand a bit more about the ism as you normally use in English, and they're quite widely used in the English language, and for that matter, in every language that we know. Right. So it's a very important part of Quran and the Arabic language as well. So we want to do these things now. In English language, what you do is you write the characteristic or the adjective. Adjective comes before the word, and noun comes after the word. That's how an English construct is. Blue car, tall boy. Car blue does not make sense in English. Arabic is opposite. In Arabic, you have adjectives coming after the noun, after the ism. Okay? So this is English. And in Arabic, it's going to be opposite. Arabic, and it's going to be after. And this one is going to be before. That's how they are built. And there is one characteristic of this this type of fragment. Of course, this is a fragment. I'm going to give you the name as well. The adjective that comes, the noun that is being defined, the ism that is being defined is called a Mawsoof. Called a Mawsoof. Mawsoof. And the adjective that is defining it, or number of adjectives that are defining it, are called Sifah. Yeah. Sifah. Mawsoof and Sifah. So in an example that we did just now, blue car. Is car Mawsoof or Sifah?
Mawsoof.
It's a Mawsoof. The Mawsoof is yellow. The car is yellow. And blue is Sifah, which is red. Okay. The one fundamental characteristic of this fragment is it operates between two or more isms. Of course, there is one ism, and there can be multiple sifat of that ism, multiple adjectives. Just like in English, you can have blue, fast, speedy, amazing car. Right? Now you have one ism and you have lots of sifas. Okay? So it can have multiple sifas defining a single ism. Okay? The distance between these two doesn't have to be immediate. Like in idafa, you wanted a mudaaf and then you immediately after wanted a mudaaf ilay. In this case, there can be a distance. For example, you could say a car that was blue passed by my house. Right? Now, this is an ism. Where is the sifa of this ism? Is there a characteristic of this ism? Blue.
Blue.
Right? Blue. Now, this what I'm trying to say is there is a distance between the two. Right? So it is not immediately before in this case. Right? It is after a few words. There are few words between them. And of course, it's constructed differently. That's why it's after in English. And it's a more complex example. But the idea I'm trying to communicate is there can be words between these two, Mawsoof and Sifah. An ism can come, and then after few words, a Sifah can come, or multiple Sifat can come. That's the principle I'm trying to tell you. Okay? The way to identify in Arabic language is very simple. I'll give you just one rule. And inshallah, next class we will do more details on that. Is that if, let's say there are two isms, if I say, for example, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Alif and Nun, Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahimi. Ar-Rahmani, Ar-Rahimi. I've put both of them together. You've seen that many times. Now, if I ask you to give me 4 properties of the word Ar-Rahman, can you give me those 4 properties? Status, number, gender, type. Is it Rafa, Nasab, Jar?
Yeah, Nasab. Rahmani is say pair. Muslimani.
Is it? Do you think it's pair or is it part of the word?
I don't think it's a singular. It's a nasab singular, masculine and proper.
If it is singular, can it be nasab with a kasra? Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. Ar-Rahman is a full word. This ani is not an ending combination.
So it's jar.
Sorry, it's jar. I mixed with zir. Yes, it's jar.
Yes.
Roza lag raha hai.
हाँ सही बात है.
Jar, singular,
Jar,
masculine,
singular, masculine, proper.
Proper.
Yeah.
Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
Let's do Ar-Rahimi. Is it jar, singular, masculine, proper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So the property I'm telling you, when you look at the Mawsoof and the Sifah, if I put the word, another word Allahi before it, for example, just to so you're clear. यार ये बड़ा मुश्किल है इसमें ना माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में इसको मैनेज करना.
मेरे से तो लिखा ही नहीं जाता.
एक मिनट यार.
इसलिए मैं चैट में भी इंग्लिश में ही लिख के भेजता हूँ.
अच्छा तो ट्राई बात है नहीं आ रहा इसको आगे कर देते हैं. Here what I'm trying to do is I want to bring Allah before the two Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Come here, yeah. Chalo, thanks.
जहाँ
अच्छा,
अंग्रेजों की समझ खत्म होती है वहाँ पाकिस्तानी की जुगाड़ शुरू होती है.
Thanks to cut, copy, paste.
this was a drag. अच्छा, the 4 properties of the word Allah.
Sir, word Allah proper, obviously.
Jar,
No, jar,
Jar,
singular,
singular,
masculine,
masculine.
and proper.
proper.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you have an ism, which is a Mawsoof. And you have these 4 properties. The Sifat would follow exactly the same 4 properties of that ism. Exactly the same 4 properties of that ism. Just like you see Ar-Rahmani and Ar-Rahimi. Same 4 properties.
So, Father, does it mean that in Surah Fatiha from Allah, Alhamdulillah, till Maliki Yawmiddin, it's one sentence?
Yes, we will go there once I've taught you this. And that's the reason. I will take you there as a
Okay.
Quranic example.
Okay.
There's a lot more in there.
Okay.
So when you recite Bismillahi Ar-Rahmani Ar-Rahimi, what are you saying? With the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. That's what you're doing, right? So you're saying Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. So what you're defining are 2 characteristics of the Ism Allahi, Sifat, right?
Okay.
So the principle behind is that the Ism that is being defined will have the same properties as the Sifat, or the other way around. They will always match in 4 properties. And that's why you were doing 4 properties in the very early days of the class. Okay? So this is a fundamental principle. We'll elaborate more, inshallah, in the next class. I know we are running over, but just to give you a crux of what we're going to do next. And after that, we'll, inshallah, open up some Quranic example and see how it applies overall. Okay. So I'll leave it at that because it's already 1 hour. I know you all are fasting. So inshallah, until next Sunday, see you same time, same channel, on the same morning show.
अगर आपने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो प्लीज बेल के आइकन पे सब्सक्राइब कर
मेरा सर आफ्टरनून का शो होगा नेक्स्ट संडे. आई वुड बी इन कराची इंशाल्लाह. सो
अरे वाह शम्स भाई.
तो देखिए इंशाल्लाह आई विल जॉइन.
चले माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह. Farhan is also in Karachi. Farhan is also in Karachi. Whereabouts in Karachi, Shams bhai?
Sir, Gulshan Iqbal, Khasar Square.
Very good, very good.
Farhan old place.
Farhan's old residence, yes.
तो शम्स भाई इधर आना.
बैतुल मुकर्रम.
बैतुल मुकर्रम. Okay, good. सही. छोटी दुनिया.
So that was Agha Hassan Juice Center, right? वो जो सामने था, नागौरी था वो, लस्सी जा पीते थे जा.
लस्सी वाला नागौरी था.
That was
और
Nagori.
उसके सामने आगा हसन भी था ना, है ना फरहान? आइसक्रीम वाला.
आइसक्रीम वो पेशावरी आइसक्रीम था.
पेशावरी आइसक्रीम
है आगा खान. अब तो बक्का रेस्टोरेंट बंद हो गया है. बक्का रेस्टोरेंट के पास या महफूज शिरमाल हाउस के पास.
बिल्कुल वो भी बंद हो गया शायद.
महफूज शिरमाल सब कुछ बंद हो रहा है वहां पे.
सर से मोबाइल फोनों वाली दुकानें खोल ली.